Hey everyone, how's it going? We just finished our first year of full-time world travel, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly how much we spent, where we went, all the details. So let's get going. So we left the United States May 17th, 2024, and we've been traveling nonstop since then. I'm going to pop up a map right here, and I'll show you where we started and where we went. We started our travels leaving Bellevue, Washington, and we just went for a few days to Nashville and New York before we took off. And after that, we flew over to Europe and started just a couple days in London. And then we went and explored Portugal and Spain. We then had to get out of the Schengen zone, so we went over to Montenegro, Kotor and Herzegovina, actually flew into Dubrovnik. And then after that area, we went over and spent some time in Turkey. Very beautiful there. And after Turkey, we then flew over to Southeast Asia, went to Bangkok and Chiang Mai, and then a couple of months in Vietnam, down to Malaysia, up to Taiwan, then a couple of destinations in Japan, then Seoul, South Korea, and after that, we flew back to Europe, starting in Paris, and then came back down to Portugal again. And I'll put a link to this map. I keep it current drop any purple pins where we have been, and the green pin is always where we currently are. So right now we are in the Tavera, Portugal area. We're actually in the next town over, Cabanas, right there. And we're going to be here for another couple of days before we head out to our next destination. Okay, so that's what we've been doing for the past year. So how much did all this cost? I'll get right into it and then break it down a little bit. But we spent $55,219.06 for 1 year of full-time world travel. And that was within our budget. We were hoping to be $5,000 or less, hopefully, a month, and that would have been $60,000 a year, and we came in at $55,219.06. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen right now the spreadsheet where I extracted all of the data from, and data gets into this spreadsheet via a Google form that I have on my phone. It's really simple. I'll do a screenshot or a little screen capture of me doing one entry, and it's really simple. But here's the spreadsheet, a lot of numbers as you can see, and yeah, so I have things broken down by categories because I want to know where the money is going. But we've got lodging, groceries, dining and drinks, transportation, entertainment, phone, health, miscellaneous, and then the total for each destination. Here's the number of days we stayed in each destination. And then in this column, I have this total expense minus our medical premium and the cost to get to that location, because some people might want to know just how much it costs once you arrive and not, how much our medical was, our monthly medical premium, or how much our flight was to get there, etc. And then this is our total cost per day in each destination without the transportation and the medical included. And here's our lodging cost per day. As I mentioned, you can see the pricey ones, which was the couple nights in London at the Airport Hilton and the Paris. Those are the only two lodging that averaged more than 100 a day. Here you can see Da Nang, Vietnam, 63 nights, $19.68 per day, US dollars. But some of these aren't fair, actually. Our monthly medical premium is $337.86. We had no other health expenses that first 30 days in Lagos, so this cost right here is just our medical premium. And that kind of seems unfair. Well, like for Da Nang, Vietnam, here we were there for 2 months, so there were 2 monthly medical premiums at $337.86 plus a few other things. So that kind of skews skews it. So if you include that and the flight, you know, Da Nang for 63 nights was $5,321. But if you take out the medical premium and the cost to get there, yeah, we did 63 days in Da Nang, Vietnam for $4,489.29, which was $71 per day. And we ate out every day, either lunch or dinner or both. So yeah, that's a good bang for the buck there. So you can see what cost the most, the categories, and I do have I have a pie chart here, or a donut, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, lodging obviously was our biggest cost, and that was just over $20,000 for the year. And let's see, next up, yeah, would have been transportation with the flights. But you see, there's that. It was an expensive flight when we went business class from Seoul to Paris, but again, 15 hours nonstop. And I've got another YouTube channel I used to have called Old Achy Runner, and it's accurate. I've got an old achy body, and 15 hours in an economy seat was not going to cut it. But yeah, that really skewed this Paris number. We were there 5 nights, and it says $4,677. Nah, if you take out, and it also had, since the medical was always the first of the month, we were also in Paris on the first of the month. So it had a medical premium and a almost $3,000 flight. There were some other expenses there, but the flight was like $2,900 and something. So 5 nights was not really $4,677. It was really $1,218.40 once we got to Paris. That's what we spent, not counting the medical. And yeah, so after we had lodging at $20,000, transportation, all our flights, and this also includes all of our Uber rides. Bolt is like Uber in Europe and Southeast Asia, so all of that. Also train tickets, like we in Japan, transportation $792, that was including a flight to get there, and that also we had some expensive train tickets, their high-speed train from Tokyo to Fukushima and Fukushima back to Tokyo. So that was expensive. So again, $11,730 for our transportation for the year. Oh, and miscellaneous sometimes skews some things too. Like here, we were just in Malaysia for 12 nights, and it shows $1,975. That's not fair, because in this miscellaneous category, I needed a pair of shoes, and I like Hoka shoes, so that was over $100. And then we bought 2 Garmin watches, over $200 each as well, one for me and one for Sunny. So yeah, that takes about 500 of that out, so that really would have dropped it. So Kuala Lumpur kind of got a raw deal here on the average cost per day. It would be less than that without those 2 Garmin watches and a pair of shoes. But hey, whatever. We need to know all of our expenses for the year, and if we're staying within budget, and we are. But you can grab a screenshot of this if you want to look a little closer. But yeah, just remember, you're going to have different medical costs. You're probably going to have different transportation costs and miscellaneous. And we cook a lot of meals at home. As you can see, the groceries still, groceries are pretty good price everywhere we went, but we do cook a lot of meals at home. So dining and drinks was $8,879. And we do eat out a fair amount too, but that also includes anytime we go out for coffee or beer or wine or snacks, anything. But Sunny is an excellent cook, and she cooks quite often at home. So that really helped us stay within budget. Okay, I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet so you can see where all that data is coming from, and then I will show you the Google form on my phone, how I input the data. So if you take a look here, I'm just grabbing a random section of the spreadsheet here. This is from February 5th, and we were in Da Nang, Vietnam, So the timestamp, I don't input on the form, it just auto does that, but the data I put in on the Google form on my phone is the date, the item, the amount, and the category. I manually later just throw in the location, and I can, you know, as you can see here, because I don't have all these down in a drop-down list because I don't know where we're going to be going next, so I will manually put in the location later, but all of this B, C, D, and E columns I enter in the form on my phone and hit submit, and it just pops right in here. It's really easy. And as you can see in Da Nang, everything's cheap. Yeah, we got an eSIM here for Sunny's phone. Data must have run out. Grab, and yeah, so the different categories have different colors here. So anything blue is transportation. Grab, that's like a Uber, so that's a ride-sharing app, and yeah, $5.46 to go across town to the market. So very affordable getting around there as well if you need to. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I put the data into that spreadsheet using a Google form on my phone. So I'm going to share out my phone. And this is the form I use. And basically it's really easy. Yes, you do either need Wi-Fi or cell service. We always have an eSIM on our phone, so wherever we are, we've got data if we don't have Wi-Fi. But let's say I just ran around the corner and picked up some stuff at the local mini mart here, which is called the Spar. Very quickly, I can just say, okay, today it's May 24th. I select the date. I put in the amount. I'll say it's not that much. Let's say it's $9.56. My answer, I will just put in the Spar because it could be miscellaneous items from there. And here's the different categories. And I will say groceries. If you want to attach a receipt, which I never do, this is an app that I found someone else had shared out on the internet, and I just tweaked it for the purposes that I wanted, but I didn't remove that even though I don't use the receipt. So then I just click submit. And it's done. And now, if you come back to the spreadsheet, bing, here it is. It populated it in here, and all I have to do, as I mentioned before, is just add in the destination. I can, since we're actually in Cabanas, but I call this category Tavira because I thought we might be staying there. You pop that down, and if you come over here, now I've hidden 3 rows because the first year only goes through our second time visiting Lagos. It was our first month stay, 30 days. This time we were in Lagos just for 7 days. I've hidden these 3 rows, but I do have a row down here. Well, I'll just expand it. And you can see Tavira. Okay, now you know where we're going after here. But yeah, that added up into the groceries field. Yeah, we've been here now for a week, so we've got some legitimate grocery bills in there. So I'm going to go ahead and hide those rows. I'm going to go back in here since this isn't a real expense and just delete that row. And that's it. So again, $55,219.06 for 1 year of full-time travel. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope some of you found it useful. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, just write a comment and I will do my best to answer it. And we're going to get back on the road in a couple of days, heading over to Granada, Spain for a full month. So want to make some videos there. And we've never been there before, so looking forward to exploring a new area of Spain. And we will see you in the next video.